Okay guys, welcome back to another exciting TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle. Here I have another battle with 1mil456. We've battled before in the past. Looking at his team in the beginning of the match, I am really afraid of it because of, he has two pretty strong walls Pokemon. One is this Gastrodon, and the other one is a Dusclops, so I'm pretty scared. I lead with my Night Storm. I decided to just go Thunderbolt right off the bat. I probably should have just subbed right away, but I didn't. I'm stupid. So I decided to sub on this guy, just to see what he would do. He goes for a Scald. It's actually kind of funny. The last time I battled this guy, I was using Flea, my Gastrodon, and I guess he really liked the idea because here he is using Gastrodon against me. What a jerk. Oh well, so I'm just going to go into my Kiss of Death in a Baton Pass just to see, I don't know why I just use Baton Pass instead of just switching, but I guess I was just trying to scout maybe he would switch, but it was probably unlikely. Anyway, he goes Scald. He ends up getting a burn on my Kiss of Death, which is a minor nuisance really. It's just going to do continual damage, and yeah, it doesn't really bother me that much, except for weakening my Body Slam. Anyway, I do actually go for Body Slam, and he predicts it very nicely and goes out into his Ghost type, which is Dusclops, which of course has Evilite Stone, so it's really defensive, and that's annoying. Anyway, so I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm just going to go for an Air Slash just to see how much it would do. He ends up taunting me, which is kind of annoying since it means I can't roost, but that's about it. But yeah, that's, I guess, okay. See, this is the downside of using Body... After this match, I'm really just kind of like, I don't know. Should I use Body Slam or T-Wave? You'll see later in the match where, it becomes really controversial. Anyway, so he goes for a, yeah, that attack. Seismic Toss, which does damage to Jolteon. I pretty much go into it because Jolteon is the one Pokemon I have that can really do damage to this guy with Shadow Ball. I just really want to, like, even if it costs me my Jolteon, I just want to keep going Shadow Ball to get as much damage on as possible. After two Seismic Tosses, he really can't heal using his, Pain Split attack. So that's what I'm just hoping, just to wither this thing down to a point that any of my other Pokemon could kill it. I was kind of actually hoping for a special defense drop too, but you can't always get what you want. So anyway, now I go out into my Togekiss, hoping that two Air Slashes will be able to take it out, and hopefully I'll get a flinch there, and I did, which is great, so he can't really heal up with Pain Split. Actually, I don't know if he could Pain Split anyway. Isn't Pain Split a Ghost-type move? Maybe it's Psychic, I don't know. Anyway, but either way, two Air Slashes will kill it, so that's not bad at all. So, yeah, I lost my Jolteon, he lost his Dusclops, so there. A pretty safe trade, I guess. So anyway, he goes into Kabutops. The Stone Edge is pretty obvious. I decided to go out in my Mew, which is kind of like my physical wall on this team. This is a Mew I've used in the past. It's a physical wall. Very effective. Anyway, he does go for a Stone Edge, and Mew takes it very nicely. I'm just going to go for a Stealth Rocks here. Kind of think he might switch, predicting like a Will-O-Wisp or something, but he doesn't. So I probably should have went Will-O-Wisp that turn, but I'm like, okay, seeing that X-Scissor damage, I'm pretty sure I can live another one and get a burn off, which would be great for me. And even if Mew is really weak, Mew can still outspeed some of the things on his team and get off a recover, so it's not really a huge deal, except he crits. And that crit really hurts because Mew was like the bulk of my team. Without Mew, my team is pretty fragile. I'm actually using a team that is very similar to the team I used in last video. I kind of made some modifications trying to make it better. But anyway, I go out in my Doom Cannon. I set up a Agility because, or I guess Rock Polish, mainly because I knew that I wouldn't outspeed right away, so might as well just do it. He ends up setting up Stealth Rocks, which really hurts my team, but I do have Starmie with Rapid Spin, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, I go for a Meteor Mash thinking he may switch, thinking it was a safer play. He ends up not switching, and Meteor Mash doesn't kill, so I probably should have just went for the Thunder Punch, so that kind of sucks. Anyway, I go for an Ice Punch here just to finish him off. I went Ice Punch just in case he went to the Gastrodon, at least I'd be able to hurt it a little bit. And at this point, I really have to just fodder my Metagross because I really need to get a safe switch into Starmie. So Starmie can set up a Rapid Spin, because my only two other Pokemon are Dragonite and Togekiss, which are both weak to Stealth Rock, so obviously I cannot switch them in right now. Anyway, I go out into my Starmori, and I'm going to set up a Rapid Spin. I know there's not a whole lot that this thing can do to me. The worst thing he can probably do is Earthquake, which will do okay damage. Anyway, he decides to go for a Mirror Coat. So now I know this guy's fourth move. It's not Toxic, it's Mirror Coat. And it was actually really good that he revealed it there because he thought I was going to use a special move on my Starmie. Instead, I get rid of the rocks, and now I'm just going to go back into my Kiss of Death now that it's safe again. He's going to go for a Recover, which is going to heal him back to full, which is kind of really annoying, and yeah, that's that. Anyway, at this point, I'm just going to try to get a Paralyze off on it again, because at this, I mean, even if he switches, all of his Pokemon are pretty weak to a Paralyze, so I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to get a Paralyze off on this thing, and maybe I'll be able to stall it out and flinch hacks it to death with my Air Slash. At this point, this is probably what I was thinking. I just go for a Roost here because I don't want to die to it, like a crit or something, and I just want to play it safe, so I just go for Roost, yeah. That's pretty obvious play. Ends up being a pretty nice play because he's just going Scald, so there you go. Anyway, so now I'm just going to continue trying to Body Slam it until I get a Paralyze off. See, this is what Body Slam gives you. Body Slam allows you to paralyze ground-type Pokemon, as well as Body Slam's actually a decently powerful move, if I wasn't burned, obviously. I mean, it is physical, so, yeah, that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it is stabbed, and it does have decent base power, so... And it also, of course, has the ability to paralyze ground types like Gastrodon. So if I had T-Wave, I wouldn't be able to paralyze Gastrodon. And anyway, so I just go for an Air Slash this turn. I end up critting and flinching, which is awesome for me, because that would have really sucked if he was going for, what's it called, a Mirror Coat that turn. So, yeah, that was pretty nice. I mean, at this point, he's paralyzed, so he only has a 75% chance to hit anyway. Then I have a 60% chance to flinch. Unfortunately for me, he does get a recover off, and I'm thinking now, like, well, this is going to go nowhere. I mean, I even got a crit, and, yeah, so this is just going to be a huge stall war. Even if he does get a Mirror Coat off on my Air Slash, I probably won't be weak enough, or won't let myself be weak enough for it actually to do damage anyway. So here I just go Roost, thinking, I don't know. I guess I'm still thinking I might be able to flinch hacks this thing to death. But, like, he has leftovers, and unlike him, I'm taking residual damage. So there's really nothing I can do. I just go for another Air Slash and, like, get a flinch, but seeing that damage, I know I'm never really going... Unless I get incredibly lucky, I'm not going to be able to flinch hacks this thing away. However, I did calculate that with the Paralyze... He only has a 22% chance per turn to get a burn off. And I go into Puff here, knowing that he'd probably go Magic Coat, so it's a pretty safe switch. And now I'm just going to go for a Dragon Dance. And after a Dragon Dance, I'm pretty sure I can 2-hit KO this with Dragon Claw, as well as the Rhyperior, which is also on her team. Or his team, sorry. And I just kind of have to hope that he doesn't get a burn with Scald. As I said, because he's paralyzed, he has about a 22% chance, 22.5% chance to burn given any given turn. And that's what he's going to try to do, which is a good play. I mean, it's still worth the risk. But with 2 turns, that's around a 66% chance that he'll get a burn off, because obviously he has a chance to be paralyzed, and Scald only has a 30% chance. So, yeah, he ends up not burning me, which is great. That's what I needed. And I'm going to be able to get the 2-hit KO with Dragon Claw, and that's awesome. He ends up going into Heracross here, which is obviously Choice Scarfed. And I was kind of hoping I outsped it, but I don't, so I end up taking a Stone Edge, but thanks to my Multiscale, because I'm at full HP, Multiscale halves the damage, and I do take that rather nicely and just go for a Fire Punch. However, due to that, I know that he has Rhyperior left, so I'm not going to be able to 1-hit KO Rhyperior with Dragon Claw unless I crit, so at this point I'm like, okay, I'm going to Roost, because if I Roost, that means I won't be weak to Rock, and it also means I'll be taking half damage due to being at full health. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to Roost until he misses, since Stone Edge has pretty bad accuracy. And he ends up missing this turn, which is like, okay, fine, that works out. I'm just going to go for a Dragon Claw, hoping it's a 2-hit KO range, since I know I can take a Stone Edge now that I have Multiscale back up. And he ends up going Stone Edge and does about half. However, looking at my Dragon Claw, it does a little less than half to him, so I'm thinking, wow, unless that's like min damage, it's probably going to be a 3-hit KO. So at this point, I'm just kind of hoping that I can stall out again, because I really can't afford to switch, since Starmie really can't take a Stone Edge, and obviously Togekiss can't either. And I'm just kind of like, I know he has Earthquake, and obviously he had the Air Balloon, so he can switch his moves. So basically, I'm just kind of stalling until he starts using Earthquake. Maybe I can predict an Earthquake and get one more hit off, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Anyway, he goes for a Stone Edge there, and he ends up critting, which is pretty obvious. Now I'm just going to hope that I can get back to full health of Roost, and I do. And this turn, I believe he Earthquakes, so I'm like, okay, so he's starting to use Earthquake. I think he might go for it again this turn. So what I decided to do is I decide to Fire Punch this turn. hoping for either him going Earthquake, maybe a Stone Edge miss, or maybe even a Burn, which would save me. But instead, I get none of those things. He goes for a Stone Edge and kills my Dragonite, and that was horrible, since +1 speed Dragonite would have been able to outspeed Azelf as well for the win, but oh well. I just went for the Fire Punch there, basically hoping for the Burn hacks, knowing that Dragon Claw would be a 3-hit KO anyway. Might as well just go for Fire Punch. But anyway, so now I go into my Starmie, just kill the Rhyperior with Surf, and this last Pokemon is Azelf, which I'm pretty sure is offensive due to... he already had a Stealth Rocker, obviously, so I'm pretty sure this one's offensive. He's probably going to kill me with Thunderbolt. However, I know my Togekiss can take Thunderbolt, and if I can get a Paralyze off, I'm pretty sure I can just stall this thing out with Roost, which of course will remove my electric weakness, with Roost and Air Slash, just to flinch stall him away. Because after a Body Slam, I should be able to kill with Air Slash in 1 or 2 hits. Instead, I do survive the Thunderbolt as predicted. I go for Body Slam. I get a crit, but not the flinch, and it pretty much came down to that. If I got the I got the crit, but not the Paralyze. It basically came down to that. If I would have gotten the Paralyze there, I would have won, probably. But since I didn't, he won. So it came to a 60-40% chance. But it was a great game overall. I mean, obviously, 60-40, that's about a coin flip. And actually makes me really rethink about putting T-Wave on my Togekiss. I mean, T-Wave is good because it has a 100% para, chance. But there are a lot of Pokemon that are immune to Electric, more so than Pokemon that are immune to Normal. At least, because the only thing immune to Normal is Ghosts. So that's the reason I have Body Slam instead. But as you saw there, the 100% chance to Paralyze would have really helped. That means I probably would have won that match. So it's really tough, to determine which one. Anyway, today's question of the day. Now, as you might recall, Pokemon kind of just bombarded the market back in the 1990s. I mean, I was a Pokemon kid. We were in the Pokemon generation. Today's question of the day is, what got you into Pokemon? I mean, there was three main things. There were the games, there was a TV show, and there was the cards, and a few other things, like the toys. So, where was your first introduction to Pokemon? What got you in there? I mean, I was always a video game kid. I didn't really Actually, I probably saw the anime before I bought the video games. But I didn't really like the anime, so yeah, the video game is what I fell in love with. So yeah, leave a question about what made you start in your Pokemon career. Was it the trading card game? Was it the show? Was it the video games? Let's leave a comment about that, and see you guys next time. All right, peace out.